unconditional love, the love of the divine operating through the human heart, the ability to become aware and accept your wholeness. See, that's what I define love is. It's the awareness and acceptance of your wholeness. It starts with you, self-love. And self-love moves beyond to love others, and then it moves into loving all of life. So at Agape, we teach a practical spirituality. We honor all paths. We have no dogma, but we teach practical tools that allow you to tap into that inner power, to that inner wisdom. We're based on the teachings of the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, along with Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, Sufism. We embrace it all. Why? Because we understand there's no one path. There are paths. And each of us is on a unique journey. The thing that I've really come to understand is that there are no two people alike in the planet. Everyone is unique. And the journey of life is to embrace your uniqueness and fully experience everything. So today we're going to be talking about mindfulness. But before we do, let's take a few moments and quiet our minds and go into the stillness, into the silence. So I invite you to come into a comfortable, seated upright position. Your back is straight. Your hands gently resting on your lap. Eyes closed. All awareness on your breath. Consciously taking a long, slow, deep breath in. And a long, slower, deep breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. I want you to feel a wave of relaxation begin to move from the top of your head through your forehead, your temples, your eyes, your nose, your lips, your cheeks, your jaw, down the back of your head, down into your neck. Feel all the muscles in your head and neck loosen and relax. Now let that warm, relaxing light, that energy move into your shoulders, down each of your arms into your hands and fingers. And feel your shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers just so peaceful and so relaxed. Let that energy now move into your upper back, middle back, lower back, down into your chest and abdomen. All the muscles in your chest and back loosened, limp, and relaxed. Let that beautiful sense of relaxation move into your pelvis, your hips, down your right leg, knee, ankle, feet, and toes, down your left leg, knee, ankle, feet, and toes. Feel your whole body just going deeper and deeper into relaxation. When the body relaxes, the mind relaxes. So I'm going to give you an affirmation that I want to repeat 3 times with you. Day by day, in every way, I accept myself more and more. Do it with me. Day by day, in every way, I accept myself more and more. Again, day by day, in every way, I accept myself more and more. One more time. Day by day, in every way, I accept myself more and more. Yes, you do. When we can accept ourselves and realize that there's nothing to judge. There is no one judging us. The greatest judge is ourselves, and we stop that by accepting ourselves. We give ourselves the freedom to express ourselves uniquely as only we can. Our uniqueness is our gift. Our uniqueness is our power. Our uniqueness creates our life experience. So having embraced this in this beautiful, relaxed state, we realize that we can come right back to here by just simply taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths, and then just saying the mantra, the affirmation, day by day, in every way, I accept myself more and more. Having taken this wonderful time together, let's start to bring ourselves back to this time, to this day, to your body, to your mind, to this now. Begin to move your hands, your fingers, and when you're ready, open your eyes, put a smile on your face, and welcome. Welcome back to now. Today, I'm going to talk about the deep essence of mindfulness. You hear the term mindfulness all the time, and I think there's a lot of confusion about it. So I thought we would take some time to explore mindfulness at the deepest of levels. Mindfulness, in its simplest form, is the practice of being fully present in the moment, fully aware of your thoughts, emotions, and the outside world without judgment. So you're fully aware that there's thoughts going on in your mind. You're fully aware that there are emotions and you're feeling them. You're fully aware there are objects outside of you that you're witnessing. Mindfulness sees that, hears that, feels that, knows that, and does so without judgment. It just accepts things as they are. Going even deeper, mindfulness is the ability to observe life and not get caught up in the stories our minds create about what's happening. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You'll be there and you'll see, let's say you've got a partner, and all of a sudden a person of the opposite sex comes up, you're at a party, comes up and starts talking to your partner. Your mind will create a story, oh, that person's trying to hit on my partner. That person's doing this, that person that. When in retrospect, they knew each other prior and they were just saying hello. It was perfectly harmless. But we created a story in our mind. Our mind does that. Our mind takes all of our past experiences and it witnesses things and it attaches a story to it. Mindfulness is the ability to observe life happening and not get caught up with the stories that the mind's going to tell. Because guess what? The mind is going to tell stories. You can't stop the mind. That's where people get confused. They say, I'm going to stop thought. No, you can't stop thought. Mind will think. It's what it does. But you can stop by not getting attached to it. That's the key thing. When we continuously ask the question, who am I? We start to separate ourselves from the mind. We ask, who is having these thoughts? Who is feeling these emotions? Who is seeing these things? We begin to peel away the layers of our ego and discover the pure presence beneath. That pure presence is awareness, the observer, the soul. But guess what? It's not something that you achieve and then you maintain it. It's a constant practice in each and every day, asking the question, who am I? That's the basic teaching of Sri Ramana Maharishi, was in every moment ask the question, who am I? Who is seeing these things? Who is hearing these things? Who is witnessing these things? Who is feeling these emotions? And when you discover there's something behind the thoughts, there's something behind the emotions, you start to uncover the true essence of who you are. Mindfulness is not just about observing, but rather realizing you're not your mind. You are the observer of your thoughts, but you're not entangled with them. You're like you're not the camera that's interpreting things. You're the thing looking through the lens of the camera. The camera relates as the mind. And the mind attaches all sorts of feelings and judgments on it. But this observer that you are, this mindfulness that you're being, man, it's not attached to anything. It's just there observing. And that's a difficult thing to realize. You're not your mind, because we've been domesticated. We've been conditioned from the time we were born to think we are the mind. And you're having good thoughts or you're having bad thoughts. But the observer doesn't know the difference between good and bad, because the observer does not judge. The mind judges. Our mind, yeah, get this. Our mind is like having a partner that never stops talking. Mindfulness is about observing the chatter and not getting caught up in it. You ever been around people that never stop? Never stop? I see it every day. And one of the reasons I love the relationship I have with my wife, Jean, is that she's not a talker like that. So when we have conversations, they tend to be meaningful. Not all of them are, but most are meaningful conversations. But your mind is like that person. Blah, 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 blah. They never stop talking. No matter what. And they start having conversations by themselves, back and forth, in your own mind. And you wonder, you hear people say, I've got multiple personalities. Yeah, it's your mind talking to itself. It may have 8 different conversations going from 8 different perspectives all at the same time. Mindfulness is not getting caught up in that chatter. That's the key thing. Don't get caught up on it. When we become the observer, we develop and experience a deep sense of freedom and peace. We enter into a state of love, and the state of love is a state of non-judgment. You see, the observer doesn't judge, the mind judges. It's like they say that God judges. Well, no, it doesn't. That's a bunch of poppycock, because God is infinite and you're a part of it. It created you out of it, so it's not going to judge you. It gave you freedom to experience life in all of its way, but we've been domesticated into believing it judges. See, here's the key thing. We talk about, all the great religions talk about God as love. Well, guess what the opposite of love is? Judgment. God doesn't judge. Why? It can't, because it's love. There's nothing for God to compare itself to judge itself against. Everything is a part of the divine. And the observer that you are understands and knows this. But mindfulness is about awakening to the perspective of the observer. The more we practice mindfulness, we find that over time, the mind naturally becomes quiet, and we experience an underlying stillness that is the core of our being. You cannot stop the mind. To repress the mind, to try to stop the mind, to try to force the mind not to be thinking, you're gonna lose. But as you practice mindfulness, practice being the observer, over time, the mind no longer has the power over you. And in that way, because it no longer has the power over you, it becomes still, it becomes quiet. We have an inner sense of peace. You see, the practice of mindfulness is the practice of letting go. We do this by not clinging to things or pushing them away, but fully experiencing whatever is in front of us and letting it go to be in the next moment. Mindfulness is a powerful way of living, because when we let go, all of those negative feelings fall away. In fact, the positive feelings fall away. We're not attached to preferences, but rather we're living every moment fully, completely, experiencing it at the depths of our being. And man, what a life we live. When we go with the flow, we allow the universe to take us on the ride of a lifetime. Here's the key thing. The only journey is the one to be in the flow, because to not be in the flow, you're fighting against life, and you can't fight life. You can sit in meditation and be mindful, but the practice of self-inquiry can be done with any and every aspect of life that we participate in, whether it's eating, walking, having a conversation with a friend. Self-inquiry is the practice of asking, who am I? Who is having these feelings? Who is thinking these thoughts? Who is taking these actions? That inquiry, when you start to make that the practice of your life, you start to live mindfully. One of the best times to practice mindfulness is when we're experiencing stress. We do this by asking, who is experiencing stress? It's not the self, it's not the observer, it is the mind, which either is or is not experiencing its preferences. All stress comes from the aspect that we've set up preferences and we're either getting them or we're not getting them. And when we realize this, it's our own inner expectations that are causing us the stress. We can be mindful and we can let go of our attachment to those expectations and those preferences. The more mindful we become, we open ourselves to a greater experience of peace, clarity, and a deeper connection or realization of our true self. You don't have to go to India. You don't have to travel to Sedona. You don't have to go into a big old temple. The connection you're seeking is and has always been within you. And you get that connection through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness, while viewed as a practice, is a way of being. The more you do it, you discover that it is truly who you are. That thing, that awareness, that beingness you're seeking, it's always been within you. It's peeling back the layers of the mind, peeling back the layers of the emotions that have masked the level of awareness that exists within you. Remember, you are the master of your mind. You are the master of your emotions. Reclaim your power. Enjoy the mind. Enjoy the emotions. Do not be attached. Live in the moment, and you will live one of the greatest, most fulfilling lives you can ever have imagined. Go with the flow. Surrender into life. I want to thank you for taking your time to be with me today. Know that we at Agape are here to support you. Go to agapespiritualcenter.com and sign up for the Daily Thought and my weekly newsletter. All you got to do is click the link and you'll get 25 free affirmations. Also, go to the calendar and see all the ways you can plug in. Almost everything we do is virtual, and we're here to support you as you unfold your magnificent life. And please, make a donation. Support us through your financial gifts so that we can continue to bring this message to more and more people in the world. Know that any person who signs up for an automated gift of $200 a month, however that comes up, whether it's $50 each week, you get every class I teach online for free. If you sign up for $100 a month, you get every class I teach online for half price. We make it so that you benefit by supporting us. So if you're inclined, go to Agape Spiritual Center. Make that donation. Become a part of the Agape family. Nourish and support us as we nourish and support you. I think it's a worthy investment. With that, my friends, it's a great week to be mindful, and you get to make it so.